Hey everyone, welcome back to another session of our CISSP study group. I'm B-Dubs, and I'm excited to dive into these topics with you today. Whether you're working hard to pass the CISSP exam, or you're just nerding out over cybersecurity, you're in exactly the right place. I truly appreciate your dedication, and it's awesome to see you all here. I'm so thrilled to be on this journey with you. In our last session, we continued Domain 7, Objectives 7.5 and 7.6. If you missed it, no worries. I've got a playlist for you to catch up. I'll share the link with you in chat so you can watch it later at your own pace. Now today we're sticking with Domain 7, Security Operations, focusing in on two key objectives. 7.7, Operate and maintain detection and preventative measures, and 7.8, Implement and support patch and vulnerability management. These objectives cover essential security practices, keeping threats at bay and addressing system vulnerabilities. Today we're diving into detection, prevention, patches, and vulnerabilities. So let's get straight to it. Let's start with Objective 7.7 with detection and preventative measures. So what are these detection and preventative measures anyway? Detection measures are tools and processes that identify potential threats, while preventative measures are controls that stop those threats before they cause harm. Think of them like guards and alarms, protecting your digital castle. Guards actively stop intruders at the gate, while alarms alert you when someone's trying to break in. For the CISSP exam, remember that these controls work together to create a defense in-depth strategy, building layers of protection from detection all the way to prevention. Now, before we talk defenses, let's understand what we're up against. Malware. Malware is software designed to compromise your systems, and it comes in many forms that will often work together. Let's break down the key categories here. First, let's look at how malware activates. There's two main categories: user-triggered threats and self-propagating threats. User-triggered threats are like traps waiting to be sprung. Viruses and Trojans are classic examples here. They need some kind of user action, such as clicking a suspicious link or downloading a file and running it. Remember CryptoLocker? It arrived as a simple email attachment, but one click unleashed its devastating payload. Logic bombs are particularly devious. They lie dormant until a specific date or event triggers them, like the 2013 South Korean baking incident, where malware activated on a predetermined date. Self-propagating threats are particularly concerning because they don't need any help to spread. Worms exemplify this category. They automatically exploit network vulnerabilities to move between systems. The Morris worm famously demonstrated this by nearly crippling the early internet. Botnets represent another serious threat. These are networks of infected devices acting as a coordinated army. The Mirai botnet showed us just how dangerous these can be when it used IoT devices to launch massive attacks that took down major websites. Now, looking at malware based on its impact, we see two primary categories affecting data directly. Ransomware, like NotPetya, shows how devastating these attacks can be, encrypting files across global organizations and causing billions of dollars in damages. Then there's rootkits and stealth malware, which burrow deep into systems and often disable your security tools and controls. The Zeus banking Trojan was like a digital master of disguise, hiding silently while stealing banking credentials as users conducted their normal business. Some of today's most sophisticated threats include zero-day vulnerabilities. These are security holes discovered by attackers before vendors are even aware of them and can patch them. The 2021 Microsoft Exchange server attacks were a perfect example of this, where previously unknown vulnerabilities led to thousands of compromised servers. Polymorphic and multi-port malware also present another advanced threat. They're like digital chameleons. They can change their appearance and avoid detection and attack systems through multiple vectors. Stuxnet illustrates this sophistication, spreading through USB drives and specifically targeting industrial control systems, or ICS, and even causing physical damage to nuclear centrifuges, showing just how dangerous these advanced threats can be. Now, how does malware actually get onto our systems? For infection vectors, we see several common paths here. Phishing emails remain the most prevalent, using deceptive messages with malicious attachments and becoming even worse now that they are powered by AI. Drive-by downloads happen when you visit legitimate-looking websites, and they secretly download malware to your system before you even notice. Infected USB devices pose a significant risk. Oh, you found a mysterious USB stick in the parking lot? You should wait and think before you plug it into your system. It could be a trap that was planted just for your curious mind. Finally, malicious software downloads trick users with fake, free versions of premium software or false update notifications that pop up saying you need to update your video player. Remember, modern malware often combines all of these characteristics, like a polymorphic ransomware worm, making it so important to understand these traits for both your role as a security professional and the CISSP exam. Now that we know the threats, let's build our defense strategy. Think of it like securing a building. You don't just rely on locks, right? You need fences, security guards, cameras, and access cards all working together. That's exactly how we approach our digital security. Now think about all the security tools you've worked with. Let's look at how these tools work together for both detection and prevention. Many of these you should be familiar with from our network security discussions back in Domain 4, particularly with the perimeter controls. But no worries if you haven't watched those sessions yet, because today we're going to see how they fit into our broader security operations strategy. First up are our firewalls. These essential security controls protect your network's perimeter and internal segments by filtering out malicious, suspicious, or unnecessary traffic. Traditional firewalls perform packet filtering and stateful inspection, while next-generation firewalls, or NGFW, provide deep packet inspection and threat intelligence. Web application firewalls, or WAS, focus on protecting against application-level threats, like cross-site scripting attacks or SQL injection. And then internal segmentation firewalls establish secure zones within your network to contain breaches. Together, these different firewall types create an important layer in your defense in-depth strategy. Intrusion detection systems, or IDS, function as your network security cameras, monitoring traffic and alerting you to any suspicious activity. Now, intrusion prevention systems, or IPS, go just a step further by actively blocking these threats. Imagine having both a security camera and an automatic door lock. These systems use two main detection methods: signature-based detection, which matches known attack patterns, and behavior-based detection, which identifies unusual activity and anomalies. You'll find both of these deployed as either network-based, such as NIDS or NIPS, monitoring your overall network traffic, or host-based, such as HIDS or HIPS, protecting specific systems at the host level. Remember, while false positives may temporarily block legitimate traffic, they're preferable to false negatives that might allow real attacks to slip through the cracks. Now, application control uses two main approaches. Whitelisting, or allow listing, allows only pre-approved applications to run by verifying file attributes and certificates, providing rigorous control. While this requires more maintenance, it offers the strongest protection, and you also know exactly what can run in your environment, while everything else will be blocked. I really prefer allow listing when I'm setting up my parental controls for the kids, and they really enjoy having to ask permission to have the ability to visit any new website. Blacklisting, or deny listing, on the other hand, only blocks known malicious programs. It's easier to manage, but it may not catch new threats that haven't been identified yet. Both of these approaches require robust update processes to remain effective. I do want to also point out here that in your career, you'll mostly see these approaches called out as allow listing or block listing. However, for the CISSP exam specifically, IDC Squared is still using the terms whitelisting and blacklisting. Now, are you looking to scale your security capabilities? Managed security service providers, or MSSPs, deliver comprehensive solutions including 24/7 security operations centers, or SOCs, SIEM for real-time monitoring, threat intelligence feeds, and incident response teams. It's like having an expert security team right there on standby. You just need to focus on careful vendor selection, well-defined SLAs, and robust data privacy agreements. Success here lies in striking the right balance between leveraging outsourced expertise while also maintaining control of your overall security strategy. Now, you can think of sandboxing as your digital quarantine zone. It's a controlled and isolated environment where you can safely run and analyze suspicious code. as well as see what's on that USB stick you found in the parking lot earlier. Using virtual machines, containers, or browser sandboxes, this technique allows you to test potentially dangerous software without risking your actual systems. This is ideal for testing patches, analyzing malware, or running any untrusted applications. Just remember, while sandboxing is powerful, attackers may attempt sandbox escape techniques, so we always layer it with other defenses. Another thing to keep in mind here is that some malware has sandbox evasion characteristics built right into it, which means that when you analyze it in your sandbox, it might look clean, but later wreak havoc on your systems when it's installed in your production environment. Make sure you thoroughly test anything suspicious or untrustworthy before setting it free in your environment. Now, honeypots and honeynets are decoy systems or networks that detect, deflect, and study attackers. Low interaction honeypots simulate basic services, while high interaction honeypots provide complete system access so you can study attacker behavior in depth. When connected together as honeynets, they create a powerful intelligence gathering system that identifies new attack patterns while keeping your production environment protected. Now, we discussed these honeypots and honeynets more in depth during session 15 of this study group, when we covered exam objective 4.2 if you need to go back and refer to that session. In today's threat landscape, anti-malware is your critical shield against an ever-evolving array of digital threats. Like a sophisticated security system, it uses multiple layers of defense to protect your systems. Your malware shield has 4 key layers working together: signature-based detection for known threats, heuristic analysis for new dangers, activity monitoring for any suspicious behavior, and change detection to watch out for tampering. Signature-based detection works like a digital fingerprint database. When it spots code matching known malware patterns, it blocks it instantly. While it's perfect for catching known ransomware variants, it can't detect brand new threats. And you have to also make sure you keep this database of known malware patterns up to date in your anti-malware software so you don't fall behind. Heuristic detection elevates your protection by acting as a behavioral analyst. It runs suspicious code in protected sandboxes, watching for red flags such as attempts to modify system files or mass encrypt documents. Though it may occasionally flag legitimate software, it's important for catching those zero-day threats. Activity monitors function as your real-time security cameras, watching your running processes 24/7. They flag suspicious activities like unusual network connections or unexpected system modifications. Or, for example, catching malware attempting to communicate with remote command servers. Change detection or file integrity monitoring, also known as FIM, acts as your tamper-proof seal by maintaining cryptographic hashes of important files. It immediately alerts you to any unauthorized changes, such as malware trying to modify system files or security settings. The final and crucial piece here is user training and awareness. Beyond avoiding suspicious links and attachments, users must understand safe browsing practices, proper data handling, and incident reporting procedures. This, combined with strong security policies, well-educated users become your most effective defense layer. Now, machine learning, or ML, and artificial intelligence, or AI tools act as your smart security partners, working together like experienced investigators. Machine learning creates a detailed profile of what normal behavior looks like in your environment, while AI makes real-time decisions about potential threats. Now imagine an executive in your organization who regularly accesses financial reports during business hours from their office IP address. UEBA, or that User and Entity Behavior Analytics we discussed back in session 22, learns this pattern over time. Here's the interesting part. Machine learning uses algorithms to learn from data and make predictions, while AI aims to mimic human decision-making. If that executive's credentials suddenly start accessing research and development files at 3 in the morning from an overseas IP address, the machine learning model immediately flags this as abnormal. The AI then analyzes multiple factors like time, location, file types, volume, and it can automatically trigger responses like requiring additional authentication factors or alerting your SOC. Now, have you ever dealt with false positives in traditional versus machine learning-based tools? This highlights how machine learning and AI complements our other detection methods. While signature-based tools might miss zero-day attacks, behavior analytics can catch them by identifying unusual patterns. Think about UEBA detecting an insider threat before traditional tools even realize there's an issue. These next-generation detection tools work seamlessly alongside everything else we've covered today. Now, a quick review for Objective 7.7 before we move on. Defense in depth is achieved through multiple integrated layers: firewalls, IDS and IPS, anti-malware, and machine learning and AI, all working together to detect and prevent threats. Each layer has its own distinct role. Firewalls filter traffic, IDS and IPS detect and block threats, anti-malware tackles malicious code, and machine learning and AI deliver advanced threat detection. Don't forget your user training is an important preventative measure, maybe even the most important. Your people are an essential part of your defense strategy. For the exam, understand how these components complement each other in a comprehensive security strategy. You've got this. Mastering layered security is your pathway to conquering this objective. Now diving into Objective 7.8, implement and support patch and vulnerability management. This breaks down into two key components: vulnerability management, which is finding and assessing security weaknesses, and then patch management, which is systematically fixing them. Think of it like maintaining a large ship. You need to spot the leaks and patch them up before you find yourself on the bottom of the ocean. This proactive approach means fixing vulnerabilities before attackers can find and exploit them. The WannaCry ransomware attack of 2017 perfectly illustrates why this matters. It targeted systems that hadn't applied a critical Windows patch. While security fixes are important, patches also improve performance and add features. The key is quick, consistent deployment, but remember to pair patching with other defenses to protect against any unpatched zero-day vulnerabilities. Now looking at patch management, this is the systematic process of keeping systems secure and optimized. It serves three key purposes: fixing security vulnerabilities, improving performance, and adding new features. While regular patching cycles are essential, you must also maintain flexibility to deploy critical zero-day patches quickly. Change management plays an important role here. You must thoroughly test these patches in your sandbox environment, obtain any necessary approvals, and implement them strategically to minimize any disruption to the business. Use threat intelligence wisely, including vendor advisories and CVE databases, to prioritize what needs attention first. Remember, even though patching may seem routine, this is your primary defense against known threats. Now let's walk through the patch management lifecycle step by step. Think of this as your playbook for keeping systems secure and up to date. First, we have monitoring. You've got to stay on top of those vulnerability feeds, vendor notifications, and security advisories. This is your early warning system for any new patches and emerging threats. When you spot something, it's time to acquire and evaluate. You'll download that patch, but you don't want to rush to install it. Take the time to check for any dependencies and system requirements. Will it work with your current setup? Will it break any critical business functions? This due diligence prevents some crazy headaches later. Next is prioritization and scheduling. CVSS scores become your best friend here. These scores, combined with your Business Impact Assessment, or BIA, help you decide what needs to be fixed first. Then you can map out a smart deployment timeline. Testing and certification is so important. If you skip this step, you really might regret it. Always test in your dev and staging environments first, and plan out those rollback procedures because some things just don't go as planned, and you might need to be ready to roll back the environment to a previous working state. For deployment, think small waves, not tsunamis. Roll out during your maintenance windows, communicate clearly with your stakeholders, and start with your lower risk systems. This measured approach helps to contain any potential issues. After deployment, verification is key. Run those vulnerability scans and functionality tests to be certain that everything is working as it was intended. Documentation might not be exciting for everyone, but it's so important. Log all patch details, deployment dates, affected systems, and test results. Your future self and any auditors will thank you later. Finally, update your baselines. reset your standard configurations, and update your documentation. This latest update becomes your new normal. Remember, this isn't a one-and-done process. It's a continuous cycle that continuously repeats itself. If you skip any of these steps, you're leaving your systems exposed to potential threats. Now we have to monitor our patch status. This is a critical aspect of maintaining your security. There's 3 main approaches that we use here. First is agent-based monitoring. This is like having a security guard stationed inside each of your devices. We install specialized software directly onto systems to provide real-time reporting and detailed information. This method offers the highest accuracy, but it comes with trade-offs. You now have to maintain all of these agents, and they consume your system resources. Next, we have agentless monitoring. Imagine roaming security guards who check systems remotely. It uses authenticated scanning without requiring that software installation on your target systems. While this is lighter on your resources, you might miss some of the detailed information that agent-based monitoring provides. This approach is ideal for systems where agent installation just isn't practical, such as IoT devices or legacy systems. Finally, there's passive monitoring. Picture security cameras watching network traffic to identify software versions. While it has zero impact on your systems, there's a catch. You can only see your active systems, and the information gathered is fairly basic. This approach should be supplementary to your other monitoring methods. Many organizations use a hybrid approach, combining these methods based on their environment's size, security requirements, and available resources. Remember that comprehensive visibility is essential for effective patch management. Now there's 2 main approaches to patch deployment. Each has its own distinct advantages, and knowing when to use each one is important for effective patch management. First, there's manual patch deployment, your hands-on, precise approach. When should you use this? Think about working with your organization's financial database or critical infrastructure systems. These scenarios demand absolute control, where you just can't risk automated processes going wrong. Yeah, sure, it's slower, but this methodical approach is exactly what you need for mission-critical systems. You can meticulously test each step, coordinate downtime with your stakeholders, and then maintain complete control throughout the entire process. On the flip side, there's automated patch deployment. This is your solution for large-scale operations. Imagine patching hundreds or even thousands of workstations across your entire organization. Doing that manually would be almost impossible. Automated deployment handles this efficiently, saving you time and reducing human error. Today's automation tools are pretty sophisticated. They run pre-deployment tests, handle the patching, and they can even roll back automatically if anything goes wrong. Just remember that while it's quick and efficient, you still must thoroughly test your automation scripts and carefully configure your maintenance windows. The last thing you want your automated system trying to do is patch critical servers during your peak business hours. Oof. Now, most organizations use both of these approaches, manual for their critical systems and automated for standard deployments. Remember that success here lies in matching the method to each system's importance and requirements. Now that we've gone deep into patch management, let's take a quick look at vulnerability management. This follows a structured lifecycle that's essential for maintaining security. First, we identify any vulnerabilities using specialized tools like Nessus or Qualys. These scanners serve as our first line of defense. Next, we assess and prioritize our risk using CVSS scores, which is the common vulnerability scoring system we've discussed before, which provides a 1 to 10 scale to determine our priorities so we can decide what needs to be fixed first. Then comes vulnerability treatment, which includes applying patches, adjusting configurations, or implementing controls to address these vulnerabilities. Verification follows our treatment. Here, we rescan our systems to validate that our fixes actually worked. This process requires thorough documentation and continuous monitoring since new vulnerabilities emerge daily. Remember, don't try to fix everything all at once. Prioritize your highest risk items and maintain steady progress, addressing each vulnerability one at a time, starting with the most critical. Now for exam objective 7.8, patch and vulnerability management form your proactive security foundation. Follow the systematic lifecycle. Identify your vulnerabilities, prioritize patches, test thoroughly, deploy carefully, and then verify those results. Timing and process are important, as this isn't a race or a one-time task, but a continuous cycle happening on a daily basis. Remember this methodology for the exam, and remember proactive management beats a reactive response every time. Now let's recap the key points we covered in today's session. We started with detection measures, exploring how defense layers all work together, from traditional signature-based detection to advanced heuristic analysis. We also saw how modern ML and AI tools are transforming threat detection. Next came the human element, user awareness. Remember that even the strongest technical controls can't protect you if your users aren't properly trained. Security awareness isn't just a mere checkbox. It's an important defense component requiring ongoing attention. We then tackled patch management, exploring the structured lifecycle approach to keeping our systems secure. This goes beyond simply applying patches. It's about maintaining a comprehensive security strategy. Finally, we covered vulnerability management, where we systematically identify, assess, and address security weaknesses. These security operations fundamentals are essential for not only your CISSP success, but also as you grow as a security professional. Take time to review and understand each of these concepts thoroughly. Now that's a wrap on 7.7 and 7.8. You're absolutely crushing the CISSP journey. Keep that momentum going. If you need to review anything, these recordings stay on YouTube with chapters added after the stream so you can jump to specific topics. This material is a major milestone towards your CISSP, so connect it to your real-world experience. Stay curious and persistent. You've got this. Now who's ready for the after party? I'm heading to our Study GRC Discord server's CISSP voice channel right now. It's perfect for questions or just connecting with the community. If you haven't joined the Discord server yet, you can visit cissp.britwhite.io for the link. And don't forget to grab your CISSP role when you join to unlock our study channels. Our next session will be Saturday, May 31st at 3 p.m. US Central Time for more Domain 7 topics. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in Discord.